Okay, hey guys, it's me, Bren of Creative Living with Bren Haas. Excited to come to you today from Northwest Ohio. Today we are heating up the conversation with a really cool dude I met on Facebook. Did you know there is like this huge community of pepper growers and pepper enthusiasts? And it was exciting to connect with Jimmy today. He is growing peppers in his home, and he's going to share with us some tips that you're not going to want to miss to learn how to grow hot peppers or just sweet peppers, whatever peppers you like, easily with some cool products and his experience. So I also have a fun seed giveaway that you're not going to want to miss. So you're going to want to stay tuned here to find out more. There goes. Run. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
There we go. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, so hey, I am with Jimmy Pickles, right?
Yep, that's me.
You're gonna have to tell us about how you got that name.
Okay, it was back in the old college days, and I would actually be in my apartment, and I would make anything pickled. Regular pickles, gardenia mixes, zucchini, anything you could think of. And my friends are like, are you seriously making pickles again? They're like, how much can you eat of this? And I'm like, and they started, they're like, hey, Jimmy Pickles. And that's basically how my name came about.
I love it. Gardenia pickles. What?
Well, like gardenia mixes, you get the cauliflower, there's just the different vegetables, carrots, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
That sounds so good. When you say gardenia, though, I automatically think of the flower. There's beautiful gardenia flowers.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Anyways, this is awesome. So are you staying warm? I know you're you're not in the Midwest. You're more on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, I'm not too far from you, 40 minutes south of Pittsburgh.
Okay. So it's winter right now. It's cold. We've had a pretty bad cold spell. But you're keeping busy. You're still growing peppers, right?
I sure am.
So sure. You went from making pickles in your dorm room to what got you into growing the plants to harvest your own peppers?
Well, I guess it was a long kind of process throughout my life. I was a welder for 17 years. And as things went by, a lot of jobs went to Mexico. Some of the jobs weren't paying as well. And I said, you know what, this is an opportunity for me to actually do something I really love. I loved welding, but I did it for 17 years. I want to do something else. Plus, it's hard on your body, doing the hard physical stuff. I mean, like, I got a plan here. This isn't heavy to lift,
Right.
And I really love cooking. And I always said throughout my life, I wish I could have gone in like 10 different professions because I have so much love of everything.
I like that too. I get real random, like all over the place. But there's just so many cool things out there that you just want to do everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you grow other things besides peppers, I'm assuming then, right?
Oddly enough, cucumbers, not for sale, and hence I'm keeping up the name, Jimmy Pickles.
Yeah.
But right now, just for the business, it's all peppers. In the future, if I decide to get a farm or anything, I've actually thought about doing pumpkins. I've always had a strange interest in pumpkins. Maybe I changed my name to Jimmy Pumpkins.
Maybe you could pickle pumpkins.
I could pickle pumpkins.
Say that 20 times. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No, pickles are awesome. Cucumbers. That totally goes along with the hot peppers. Cause I mean, I like to can. I like to take the cucumbers and throw a couple of garlic and peppers in there. It's awesome. So very cool. So what do you love most about growing peppers?
So much. How much time you got? I love it because there's so many different flavors. You got your heat levels. You got your different levels of flavor. Like some peppers are floral, some are not, some are fruity, some are citrusy. I just love what I can do with them. Plus, I love progress. You know, I love the art of growing. You know, I trim my plants, I top my plants, and like when you top them, you'll see a lot of more branches down here coming out. So it's just so many aspects. I love the art of growing. I love the art of cooking with the peppers. Um, just so much.
That's cool. When you went back to the plant there, you said you like topping them. What do you mean by that? Like, can you show again? Like, what is that?
Sure. Like say on this plant, eventually I'll top this again. Over here, I would just take a scissors or even my finger and I'll just snap it off. And what happens is when the nutrients go through the plant, it actually makes it thicker. This is actually starting to get fairly thick. I've been growing this one for maybe 2 months, and I've been topping it. When it branches off, I'll even clone it. You know, I'll cut it on a 45-degree angle, and I'll dip it in a solution. You know,
Very cool.
Yes.
Very cool. That's fun to do. I've never tried it with a pepper before. In fact, this last summer was kind of the first time I actually grew some peppers from seed. I usually just get my starter plants from a local greenhouse. And it was really fun, and I'm excited to do it again this year. So I was hoping you could share with us your setup that you have there and maybe give us some tips on how to start our own pepper plants at home.
Sure. Actually, I came prepared. I have visual aids. First thing, like if I'm trying to teach anybody, you got a germinating mat. These things are not too much. You can get them in between 15, 25, 30 bucks. Amazon has great sites on there you could buy. Generally speaking, it brings up your temperature 10 degrees. So if you're going to grow, say, super huts, you need to have 80 degrees, 80 to 85 degrees. So if your room temperature is 70, this will bring it up right where you need it, 80. So my presentation will be like a lasagna here. You know, you got your germinating mat, and then go ahead and get one of these reservoir tray.
I got to ask you about the germinating mat, though. Is it like, how does it get hot? Is it like a heating pad or something?
It's exactly like a heating pad. You just go ahead and plug it in. And
look at that. Nice.
Yeah. Now, this is a basic one I showed you. There's ones with thermostats on it and stuff like that. But I use the basic ones, and I'm perfectly happy with it.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so you had the tray. What's the tray all about?
Just a reservoir tray. There's some grooves in there, you know, so helps drain the water. I use these planter cells. My general rule of thumb at germinating is a lot of people use paper towel method, stuff like that. I use these planter cells. Put the dirt in, put it in halfway. It's like we're talking ½ inch, and it'll just drain into the tray, and that heat from the heating mat will actually bring up into these planter cells.
Nice.
We're talking for good genetics on seeds, we're talking a week to germinate, 2 weeks. It could take several months to germinate. General rule of thumb is max around 30 days, but some seeds are very finicky.
Okay. Yeah. And they do have to be warm. You're right. Okay. So just so newbies know, you're not going to put that germinating mat in the black container. It goes on the bottom. It's like the carpet, right?
It goes on the bottom. It just brings,
and then you put the tray.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of crazy things. So I've done a lot of crazy things.
You get your germinating mat, your reservoir tray, then your planter cells. Perfect. And optional, and I actually do this, and it seems to help me, you got to keep your temperature up. So I use the grow lights to a little bit extra heat coming from the top, and then the heat from the bottom from the germinating mats. Nice. And the key thing, a lot of mistakes people do, is you got to keep it wet. You got to keep that soil moist to a certain amount of moisture percentage. But you don't want it drenched. If you drench it, the seeds can rot.
Ooh, yeah.
Happy medium moisture.
That's where I usually mess up. I water my plants way too much, and that's a bad thing to some degree, especially peppers. They don't like to get their feet too wet, do they?
No, no.
Yeah.
A good tip for watering is what I do is I water the plant and let it dry out, like almost completely. And what that does is it actually almost puts your plant into shock. And then when you give it water, it soaks up all the nutrients a little bit more. So you actually see like people, it's like shock therapy almost for plants. So you'll see the plant and it'll, instead of being like all like this, it'll start going like that. Then it'll dry out. Some people even let it dry out for 2-3 days. I don't
Hmm.
do that. I let it dry out about one day. I water it and it comes back even stronger and it really works harder. It's like if you run a marathon or anything, instead of like me taking sips of my water, a marathon runner, they're dehydrated, they're craving for that water, they'll just chug that water. It's the same concept for a plant.
Makes sense. Totally. Um, very cool. So, all right. So you said something about lights. Very important. Plants need some lighting going on. Are you doing anything with the LED lights, stuff like that, or what kind of lights do you recommend for indoors?
I do have LED lights. I have all different types of lights. Basically, this is what I do.
Hmm.
I just start my plants here. I don't finish them out.
Okay.
So anybody who wants, you want a full spectrum in the light. So I recommend like a T5, Jump Start. That company, they have great products. Um, just your basic. I use 4 foot length
Okay.
um, T5 lights basically. But
T5.
if
So
you
that's like the
want to
bulb.
start, yes, T5 6400 luminance. So I wouldn't go anything lower than that.
Okay.
Um, but if you want to produce, you want to get more into higher strength, and it's going to cost you a bundle in electricity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, and you want to go into more red lights on the spectrum level. But I go for the full spectrum. I seem to do very well. I'll grow them anywhere from a few inches to a few feet before I
Okay.
transplant them, which is around Mother's Day here in Pennsylvania.
Great. And so, well, so right now's the time. I mean, you need to get those seeds started now because the peppers, they take a while to get going good, right? Especially the hot ones because they want they need to be hot and bigger, right? Or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, general rule of thumb is super huts take a lot longer to grow.
Mhm.
So if I'd give advice, like, I mean, I'm so gung ho, I'm going to grow no matter when. I'll start my grow in August of the previous year for now. But like for just like a hobbyist, I recommend like start your super huts around now, in between January to the end of February, maybe even the beginning of March. For anything with lower heats, we're talking like habanero types, jalapeno types. You could start them in March, April, and still get a decent production. It all depends where you live too.
Sure. Right. Because eventually, if you end up putting the pepper plants outside in the ground, I mean, you want to make sure you're clear of frost. And I mean, I know my babies, I like to put them out in the 1st of June, even though our last frost date's usually May 15th. I wait because they're so special when you grow them from seed, you know? So a lot of most of the peppers that you grow, you'll end up taking them outside, right? Do you like grow them in the ground or are you going to put them in raised beds or what do you do?
I grow them right in the ground, right in the
Nice.
ground. I'm a firm believer of composting and stuff like that. It makes a very rich soil. I always call it like black forest soil. I don't even know if that's a technical name, but it just is compost. Like I mix in banana peels for potassium, eggshells for calcium. Um, I have neighbors and myself have huge trees. So instead of me complaining about, oh, I got to do the leaves, you know what? Now it's a happy thing. So I take all the leaves, which is a lot of work, and I compost them, and I turn them and everything. I
Smart.
throw water in there, and a huge key for composting is cardboard. It keeps that moisture in. Earthworms love it.
Ah, that's a good
So,
tip.
yeah.
And that is really the best soil, and it's free for the most part, right? I mean,
Yeah. Other than the work,
yeah,
basically.
right. Okay, so let's see. Can you show us what you got set up there, like how you're growing your peppers right now?
Sure. I'm actually going to be doing three floors of
Okay.
growing.
Yeah, look at
Is everything?
that.
Can you see everything?
Yes.
Okay.
There's the babies.
So, yep.
It's like a nursery.
So yeah.
It is a nursery.
One needed topped off a while ago. This one down here will have more sprouts coming out. So that's one of the plants I need to. I'm trying to develop more plants in the root system. So I got them in grow bags. The reason I like grow bags, I'll show you some more, is because oxygen gets in there. And it actually kills off the tips of the roots, and it regenerates, so I don't get root balls.
Nice.
So.
I love your setup. That looked great. And I'm excited to follow you. I love following you. You're on Facebook. And we're going to share that link so people can connect with you.
Now I'm selling seeds. I did open up a department for that. And it's on my Ticktail site. My goal for there is to have everything isolated, which if somebody knows, pepper plants are self-pollinators, which basically how that happens is the pollen is so tiny, you could actually shake a plant and it could be all over your grow area, even from the wind, and the genetics are changing, so when you save the seeds, it could actually start being a cross, and you're not having a true form of what you have. So when I isolate, I consider myself being a responsible seed stock.
Here are the amazing hot seeds Jim Morrow has contributed for a giveaway on my network today. One lucky winner will get 4 different varieties of hot pepper seeds from Jim's collection to start in their garden this year. All you have to do to enter is number 1, have a USA shipping address. Jimmy Pickles will only ship to USA. Number 2, comment and follow Bren Haas on YouTube. Just click subscribe here. Winner will be announced on January 27th, 2018. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section here. Or, of course, connect with me over on my website at brenhaas.com. Hit the contact button and you can email me there. Thanks for checking out the show today. I hope you will connect with me by heading over to my website at brenhaas.com. Put Jimmy Pickles in the search bar to find the complete details of the seed giveaway. You'll also find links to the products Jimmy shared with us today to get you started growing your own peppers. That is at brenhaas.com. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get started on my pepper growing. So I got to check out that Germinating Mat and things like that. So very cool. So to catch the next presentation, be sure to sign up for my newsletter, which is located over on my website again at brenhaas.com. Just click up on the right hand side where it says Let's Connect and you'll find all the details there. You won't want to miss the exciting interviews and products and recipes I have to come. And it's going to be a great year.